player props here on Underdog Fantasy. Before I get started though, there is a link in the description below to sign up for Underdog Fantasy. They will match 100% of your first deposit. And something that separates Underdog from like PrizePicks is that they have drafts, right? They have best ball drafts, season long drafts. They got PGA drafts, MLB daily drafts, NFL drafts, everything, NBA drafts when the NBA season starts, best ball, which is super fun to play. So many different gameplays, so many different ways to win, so many different ways to play. Again, a link in the description below of this video to sign up for Underdog Fantasy. Super fun. But I like Underdog here. NBA player props, pick 'em. I'm going to give 3 total player props that I like here on the MLB slate on Underdog. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not gambling advice. But let's just get into it. So the first play that I like is going to be Manny Machado over 1.5 total bases. He's been actually playing really well, and it seems like he's actually been playing even better since the news of Fernando Tatis being out for 80 games. But you can see, over his last 7 days, he's hitting 464. Over his last 15, he's hitting 344. But last 7 days, his OPS is 1.340. 2 home runs, 10 RBIs in that span, 28 at-bats, and 13 hits. Hitting the ball, seeing the ball extremely well, extremely high level right now currently. You can see here, actually, let's see, 6 straight games of 2 hits or more. 2 hits, 3 hits, 2 hits, 2 hits, 2 hits, 2 hits. Look at this. This is crazy. 5 doubles in this span, 2 home runs, tons of RBIs, walks. Love this play here for Manny Machado over 1.5 total bases. He is facing a young pitcher in Edward Cabrera, who is a pretty good pitcher in his own right. Has been pitching pretty well his last 2 outings, 8 strikeouts and 2 earned runs against Chicago, 6 strikeouts and no earned runs actually against Philadelphia. But nonetheless, I love Manny Machado here, just hitting the ball at such a high level right now. Can't shy away from it. Taking the over here on this one at 1.5 total bases. The next play, I guess I'm just going to search for these. It's going to be Brandon Woodruff, and I'm going to take his under 6.5 strikeouts. Now, Brandon Woodruff, obviously one of the premier pitchers in baseball, in my opinion. He's 9-3, 3.52 ERA, 109 strikeouts on the season. But just kind of, it seems like, his last 2 outings, right? Only 3 strikeouts here against Pittsburgh, which is super surprising considering Pittsburgh strikes out a ton. And then 5 strikeouts here against Tampa Bay. So nowhere near 7 strikeouts. Had back-to-back games here of 9 strikeouts and 8 strikeouts against Boston and Colorado. Obviously, the month of July was pretty good for him. He actually hit the over of 6.5 4 or 5 times. And then in his lone start in June, actually, he had 10 strikeouts, but 4, 6, and then 4 straight games here of under 7 strikeouts here. But I'm taking the under here for Brandon Woodruff because he's facing the Dodgers. Right, just a ton of bats in that lineup that put the ball in play, that don't strike out a ton. More specifically, like the Dodgers this season, if this plays a load for me, this season Dodgers strikeout percentage is bottom 6 in baseball, 21.0 strikeout percentage against right-handers. They don't strike out a ton. On PrizePicks, this line was dropped down to 6, so I think there's value here on Underdog at 6.5. I'm taking the under on this one. Brandon Woodruff, 6.5 strikeouts against the Dodgers. I love the under on that. And then the last one is going to be a pitches thrown. It's going to be Kyle Freeland. It's actually pitch count on Underdog. I'm going to take his under 97.5 pitch count. Kyle Freeland does pitch pretty deep into games, right? Already, he pitches deeper than I would see, most people. He is having a pretty decent season. Obviously, doesn't get the run support for Colorado. 7-8, 4.84 ERA, 90 Ks on the year. He's been one of their better pitchers. But again, he's facing St. Louis, who absolutely rake left-handers. And you can see, he went 4.1 innings, 10 hits, 6 earned runs through 90 pitches against St. Louis in their last game. I believe this was sometime last week. Now here facing St. Louis again in St. Louis. This game is, again, not in Colorado. It's in St. Louis. At away game for Kyle Freeland, I think 97.5 pitches thrown, so 98 needs to be the over. He has gone over 97.5 a good amount of times this season, but again, St. Louis absolutely rakes left-handers, and teams are historically better the third time they face a pitcher in the season. Again, second time they're facing him in a row. So let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about these 3 plays. I got Manny Machado over 1.5 total bases, Brandon Woodruff under 6.5 strikeouts, and Kyle Freeland under 97.5 pitches thrown. Let me know in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like on this video, and as always, have a great day.